Hello, welcome to the Sharpest Teeth. My name is Saturn, and I will be giving you a general tarot reading today. I switched up my office a little bit, so that's nice. I'm feeling refreshed, and I hope that you have done something for yourself that makes you feel refreshed as well. Today is January 11th, 2025, and this reading is meant to find you at any time that is appropriate for you. I will be using the Modern Witch Tarot. This deck has been kind of my go-to recently, and I'm not exactly sure why, because it was fine. I didn't entirely resonate with it when I first got it, but here we are, and I'm using it quite often now. And I'm just shuffling. We're just shuffling right now. Ooh, and we have Death. Came out. Earlier when I was shuffling, I saw the Fool and the Queen of Pentacles. La-dee-da. That was beforehand, though. That was not during this reading. This one we have Death and we have the World reversed. And we have the Eight of Pentacles as well. So, Death is an interesting one because I actually, and one just fell out, but it was reversed, just fell into my lap. Death's an interesting one to come out first because I did invite Death as a deity who I worship in to this reading. She was like, she just kind of wanted to like pop in here. I really appreciate Death because Death reminds me to appreciate life. So I think of her as harbinger isn't the right word, but it's the word that's coming to mind. I think of her as a harbinger of life. I think of her as kind of like a protector and a holder and someone who encourages us to live our lives to the fullest, because who knows better than Death that life is precious and short. So that is how I relate to Death as a deity. And with Death, it's the great equalizer as well, right? Death comes for us all. We're all mortal. There is no way around that, no matter how much money you have or status or how you are loved or how you are hated and how you are feared, how powerful you are, how powerful you aren't. I don't know if those things are really relevant when it comes to living life and enjoying it to its fullest. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay. So I think there is this vibe of understanding that we are all equal in this. Like, we're all human. Nobody is better than anyone else because of any reason. And we have the World in reverse. I'm learning to maybe just keep the card sort of near my face. Okay, we have the World in reverse, and I really believe I'm seeing just like the people in power are seeing this awakening happening amongst us, and like there's so much resistance to that. Like on the flip side, right? There's so much resistance to that lesson really coming to fruition and being learned. And there's so much propaganda and distraction kind of just like being thrown in our faces. That's the vibe. That's the vibe that I'm getting with those cards, okay? And then we have the Eight of Pentacles here, and it's very much this like, okay, I don't really care for the distractions anymore. I think a lot of us are kind of moving away from the social media as a distraction. I think that a lot of us are working on creating more than we are consuming. I think that a lot of us are focusing on connection with people instead of consuming people's content as like a separate thing from us, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's this energy of connectivity and this desire to like really get into our own work. It's kind of like if everybody is equal and like money doesn't matter and status doesn't matter and like we're all gonna die anyway, I might as well focus on what I love and do the things that bring me joy instead of like scrolling my life away. Okay? Like, I better be using all of this technology and like these wonderful tools that we have available to us for my own benefit instead of my own detriment, and like instead of using it as a substance, you know? So I love that this camera gives me clarity, but then it does this thing. It's very distracting to me, and we have the tower in reverse. That's fun. Okay. There's very much, okay, if death is an equalizer, the tower is also like maybe even more so, right? Because it's just like, okay, you see all this shit, you see that skyscraper that you made, that little castle in the sky, that you are like hiding up in, girl, that is gonna come crashing down, okay? And like there is this resistance, this no, I do not want that to happen, okay? I really like the comforts of my tower. I like it here. I have people to wait on me and serve me and give me everything that I need up in my tower, okay? Please don't realize that it's a throne of lies, right? Okay? Please don't realize that I sit on a throne of lies. I don't even want to recognize that for myself, right? So there's a reckoning. Low-key, there is a reckoning happening here, okay? I love this energy. This deck is a little big for my little hands. I'm just gonna, excuse me. Okay, we got the Queen of Wands reversed, and the King of Wands reversed, and the Five of Wands. Like, what did I just say? Okay. Like, there is this, like, the people in power are not taking any action for the better, okay? And the people are taking it into their own hands. I'm just saying. And there is, like, a bit of infighting, a bit of squabbling, but I think there's also more so this, like, recognition that this is an opportunity for us to practice what it is like to be in conflict with each other and come to a resolution and still be in community. Because when you're in community with people, there will be conflict, right? It's inevitable. And while we all have different ways of thinking, ways of being, we all have different backgrounds, we do work together to improve ourselves and like use our differences as a tool, as like leverage, and as something that can like help us all grow, because we have all of these different perspectives and all of these different experiences. And like if we work together and work through the kinks, then we will come to a solution. And the 5 is a turning point, and wands are fire and they are action, and so like it's very much a turning point in the ways that we are engaging with each other and engaging in our communities. And this king and this queen flipped up on their heads, like they don't know what to do with that. When we organize, they do not know how to respond. Okay. And their view is totally backwards, is totally upside down, and totally in opposition to what the reality is, right? Like there are some people who believe that they are above death. There are some people who believe that they deserve more or deserve better because of who they are or what they have. There are people who think they deserve to cheat death more so than others, which is a sick mindset. That is a sick way of thinking. These people are not well, okay? And there is a pressure to convince you, to convince us, to convince others that this is true. Because the only way that that view works is if everybody else also buys into it. And hello, we are not buying into it, okay? We are not buying into that. We're doing our research, okay? We are doing our history studies. And we are seeing, oh, actually, that's not true. None of us is better than the other one, okay? We are all on equal footing here. Even if some people might know more than I do in these areas and I can learn from them, that does not mean that they are better than me or that they deserve a better life than me necessarily, or that I deserve to die and they deserve to live, right? Right? We are toppling that idea and that mindset, okay, within our own social circles on a community, individual, relational, interpersonal level. And that's how it starts. Okay? Like, okay? These are ego destroyers here, okay? These are inevitable things. These are things that none of us can avoid. And they are things that make us realize that our lives are different than what we thought. That our beliefs might not actually hold a candle to what is real or to what is to come. Okay? That's what those are. I feel like I just preached a sermon in 15 minutes and like I'm like, okay, we're done here. You get it. But, and I had a couple fall into my lap. I do kind of want, oh, okay, I don't want to. I want to know, like, what our role is in all of this. And if you watched the pick a card reading, I think that you know, like, you kind of have an idea of like what your role is and what our roles are individually, and based on what I was just talking about as well. But like, I don't know, Why not get a little bit more? Why not just keep pulling cards? I don't know. Why am I here if not to pull cards? Okay, so we have the Two of Swords, we have the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. I love this, okay? I love that. So, the Two of Swords is about meditation and coming to a decision, right? We are at this turning point, and we're kind of two minds of how to move forward. There is this kind of stagnation. There is a pause here, and like there's turbulent waters behind us, okay? There's turbulent waters, but we're chilling. We are sitting and finding our calm. We are finding our peace before we move forward to make a decision. I love that for us. That's like, okay, that's maybe a smart thing to do. Maybe some of us ought to be practicing our sitting meditation currently so that we do have maybe a little bit of a level head, maybe just a little bit more of a level head with what is coming than we would have if we weren't doing our sitting meditation practice, right? Okay. And then the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Cups is very much like, okay, this is my domain. This is my stuff. I know what my stuff is. And I'm going to be very intentional about who I am sharing that with. And before I can be this like magnanimous, generous person who is sharing all of my resources, I need to make sure that I am taken care of. I need to make sure that I have stability. Okay? And with the Four of Cups, there is like this thing on offer that's very much like there's a little bit of like an emotional manipulation vibe to it as well. And like, look, they got their phone to the side. Their shirt says over it. You can't really see it, but if I put it up close, maybe it will. There you go. It says over it, right? So they're like not having it. They're like not having it. And like they're not looking at their phone. They're like, I'm so done. I'm so done with this shit, okay? Like, I don't want whatever little distractions you're offering me. I don't want whatever little emotional gratification that you're offering me, because I know that it's just temporary. And I know that I can be more emotionally fulfilled. And I know that there's something better than what is being offered to me right now. And there is a little bit of, okay, I feel like I have to include this. It's not the message that I feel is like being given right now, but I do feel like I have to include it because I think that there might be somebody watching who could use this. The Four of Cups is also about like ignoring an opportunity that is like right in front of your face. It's just like, here, look, there's this opportunity, and you're like, I don't want that opportunity, right? So on the flip side, it could be that you're ignoring something that might actually be beneficial to you, but that is not the message that I'm giving right now. That is not what is kind of going on right now. It's very much like, okay, that's actually what looks like this cool thing that like offer coming from this piece of popcorn in the sky is actually just like the same of what I already have. I already have this here. It's the same thing. So why? I don't want that anymore, you know? Okay? I already got that. And you're not gonna like trick me into sharing my resources. Okay, you're not going to trick me into going off and doing this other thing and distracting me from my peace and from the decision that I am meditating on right now and like the direction that I want to go. You're not going to distract me from my instincts and my intuition and what I know is best for me. Okay? If this is not the theme of the reading, okay? Judgment. All right. There is some like Judeo-Christian vibes with the tarot, especially like Rider-Waite-Smith or Rider-Waite-Smith based tarot cards. So I think of Revelations when I see this card. It's like this idea that people who are, you know, the goodest, the best people, get a heavenly reward for being the goodest, best people, okay? And they will, like, experience ascension. And then the rest of us will be, like, I don't know, I included myself in that, right? The rest of us will just be, like, experiencing the end of the world, and it'll be, like, really awful. I also think of zombies and, like, old things coming up, right? But this is the vibe because it's very much, like, it's time to make a decision of where we want to go now. Like, we've kind of come to a culmination here. We've experienced everything that there is to experience, and you need to figure out, like, what you are bringing with you and what you are leaving behind. Okay? Because this world here, I know it's in reverse, but it is still the world. Still the world. And it is fixed, and it is there, and it's coming right after judgment. Okay? There is a turning of the wheel. There is a new horizon. Okay? There is something that is coming to fruition that if we do not learn the lessons and integrate the lessons that we have learned and are learning, then it's not going to be pretty for us, okay? Like, it's really very much the time to remember what you were studying with the Eight of Pentacles. Remember what you have with the Four of Pentacles. Remember the lessons in navigating conflict that you learned with the Five of Wands. Okay? And make a decision. Come to a place where you are showing up as the person who you want to show up as in this new landscape. Who is that? Who does that look like? What does that person do? How does that person show up for themselves and for their community? What does that person wear? What does that person value? And how do they embody those values on a day-to-day basis? What does that look like? Because I'm just going to say, like, it is time to start doing that. And I think, like, so many of us are ready and are already doing this. And it's very much like feet on the pavement, go time vibes here. And look, I don't know if you watched my other videos or if I even shared this, but This is the candle that I made on New Year's Eve. That's the vibe. Okay? Okay, my friends, my girlies, okay? That's the vibe. There is no going back. We cannot go back to the person that we were, to the people that we were, to the person that we was. We can't be that person again. That person is dead. We can't go back. We can't unlearn the lessons. And we need to learn how to show up as the people that we are becoming and have become already. Right? So that's that. And I hope it was helpful. Let me know what you think of this reading. Let me know in the comments, or like text me or whatever. And if you want a personal reading, I am offering those, and you can email me at thesharpestteeth@gmail.com. And I wish you the very best of luck, and I will see you later this week.